Welcome to the course. Okay, now this is not my usual setup, but I want to hit something home for you really fast to inspire you once we jump into all the content. Now, how this is structured, how this is set up is it's going to be module to module. Okay, so module number 1 will just be some quick overview stuff, kind of get you inspired about the business model. I recommend that you start and stick with module 1, okay? That will run you through a bunch of different things that you kind of need to know in the beginning. If you need to know, how to actually record videos like this, how to actually, get through and certain things that you might need equipment-wise, right? None of it's needed. It is recommended to a certain degree. I'll cover all that in the future lectures in this actual first module. If you know that stuff, then skip ahead to the next lecture. You don't need to watch it, but if you do, then obviously it's there to help you, okay? Now, before we actually jump into the content here and we get going, I also want to let you know that if the entire business model here is going to be filming content, whether that's visually, and the majority of it will be, or, through audio, right? And then slapping it up on other platforms across the internet, multiple platforms, and monetizing it, ranking it long-term so it sits there as a digital employee and earns you money for the long term, right? We're not just selling one-off courses here on different websites. We are making a good piece of content, right? Making one piece of content, putting it on various forms and places all over the internet. And all of those different places are going to be earning for us every single month. But the game plan is so that once we put it up there, we want to rank it long-term so it sits there and we don't have to do anything about it on all those platforms, and it just keeps earning for us, okay? That will increase our earnings as we continue to build this business exponentially, not just over the time that they're on their ranks, but also as we added different platforms as well, okay? So I'll get into that in the entirety of this course. There's many different places that you can upload and rank your content online, and I'm going to show all that to you. We'll also talk about the exponential growth curve, which is crucial here in a second. But if you don't know how to record content, that's totally okay, right? Even if you have no experience, no money, I will show you how to record content for free, okay? I will also show you how to record content if you are a complete beginner and you have no experience with this at all. Now, if you already know that stuff, then great, you're already a leg ahead and you can just jump ahead, obviously. I would kind of skim through the first module and then kind of, if you know all that stuff, skip ahead to the actual modules where we cover the different websites and all you need to know about that. So it'll cover the different important things to rank. So watch those first before you start creating content, obviously, because then you're going to know ahead of time, once you start creating content, what to create the content for and how to optimize it in the creation process for when you upload, okay? So if you are a complete beginner and you don't know editing as well, I also dropped my brand new editing courses. So I did an Adobe Premiere Pro course, which is a paid, editing software. But like I said, and that's the one that I recommend. It's a lot better than the free version. For the free one's going to be Shotcut. It's completely free. If you don't have any money, like I said, or any experience, you can watch the last 2 modules at the end of this course, right? Scroll all the way down. Watch those 2 modules. It's going to cover the very basics as well as some, intermediate and advanced stuff. It's going to help you start editing videos literally today when you're done watching those courses, okay? You don't need to be an expert editor. All you really need to know to make money and good money with this business model is the basics, right? Just what it is, how to actually put your files in there, and how to clip the ends of them so that it looks good, and maybe some ums and ahs out of your courses and videos and stuff like that, right? Now, you can get better in the future, but those 2 courses will cover literally everything that you need to know. They're the last 2 modules at the end of this course. I just added them there because it occurred to me when I launched the very first version of this course. So when I launched the first version, it kind of occurred to me when students would ask me that some students, not all, don't necessarily know how to edit, or the basics of editing. And that's totally fine. It's really, really easy. It might look foreign to you initially, but it's not, okay? Let's jump into the content now that you know where everything is and you kind of know the setup of how this, this course is going to be structured, okay? Now, there's 2 things I want to hit on, okay? The first thing is that 2 different people can watch this course and get completely different results with the same exact information. Why do you think that is? The one person treats it like a business and takes it seriously and listens to exactly what I'm about to say next and executes on that, as well as all the information and all the modules. And the other person that doesn't get results literally might just watch the course or skim through some certain things and think that they know everything already, or just need to know the websites where they need to upload to, right? And I made this mistake in the beginning too, right? I was like, I don't need to know how to rank on all these platforms. I don't need to know, the different nuances of content that's allowed on them or not and stuff like that. All the different factors that go into actually succeeding on those sites, right? Because anybody can upload to a lot of these sites, even though some of them are difficult and have different difficult barriers to entry. but not everybody can rank on them long-term and continuously rank content so that they can go off on vacation, or they can turn their computer off for a week or whatever it is, or a month, and still have their content business paying them really, really greatly over the long term, right? So you need to watch these things. You need to master these platforms, and this entire course will cover all of that for you, okay? So like I said, the first person takes it seriously, learns everything, continues to learn, and treats it like a legitimate business, they will get the results. If that's you, then you will get the results too, okay? I'm going to give you the complete formula on how to do that. The second person just kind of dabbles a little bit. They look at the information. They just want the sites. They just want a little bit of the information, and then they want to start uploading, okay? And that's, you can start uploading ahead of time. I'm not saying you have to watch every single thing first, but you do need to master these platforms and watch this course and take it seriously and treat it like a business, okay? Then you will get the results. Now, if we jump over to my computer really fast here, what you'll see on the screen is an exponential growth curve, okay? So the green lines across are going to represent your potential revenue. I didn't put numbers here because it's going to fluctuate person to person and different, situation to situation, what kind of content you're creating for, what sites you start uploading to, and how fast you actually execute on this business model. Some people are going to have more time, and some people are going to have less time, depending on if they already have like a 9-to-5 job, right? Or if they're already in school, if they're young, right? Or if they don't have anything else going on and they have all their time to throw at this business, then obviously they can execute on it a little bit faster, okay? So the green lines are going to represent your potential income. I'll throw out some random numbers there, but obviously it's going to depend person to person and situation to situation. The yellow lines are going to represent your months, right? So we'll call this month 1. We'll call this month 2, month 3, month 4, month 5, month 6, okay? And the black line behind is the exponential growth curve that you're actually going to make money in the amount of time possible, right? So what happens with a lot of people is they'll quit in this is like your month 1, right? You haven't even done anything in month 0. Month 1, you're barely making anything, right? Maybe you're making like $100 or a couple $100 on each platform, right? And month 2, you're probably making still like a couple $100. Maybe, if you scaled it up well and you have good